Knowing such crucial information is very important to all sectors when it comes to planning and implementation of socio-economic policies that help in the development process.
That was Prime Minister Andrew Holness as he launched the island's 15th population and housing census. We urge you to participate in this worthwhile initiative when it gets underway on September 12. Your Jamaica Magazine continues after this short break. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome.
The National Census is an opportunity to help develop your community and create a brighter future for your family. The information gathered from the census is used to make important decisions about where to put facilities like clinics, stores, and new roads. So be seen and be counted for your family's future. Census Day is September 12th. Look out for the national census takers in your community and let them know you count.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, August 15, 2022. Entertainment and transport industry stakeholders whose livelihoods have been impacted by the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic will now have access to two loan facilities valued at $700 million. First announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness during his budget debate in March, the loan facilities were formally launched last Thursday. $500 million is earmarked for micro-entrepreneurs such as food vendors, bar owners, party promoters, clothes vendors, and persons who ply their wares at entertainment events under the Entertainment Restart Loan Facility. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, says the funds are intended to provide them with the fuel to recover from the pandemic.
These loans will be available for 3 years with an initial 2-month moratorium. And in terms of the need to provide collateral, that need will be non-existent. There is no collateral required.
The loans will be provided through the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ's microfinance institutions and approved financial institutions at an interest rate of 3%. Another $200 million in loans will go to public passenger vehicle PPV operators through the same DBJ network of institutions.
You can access up to $750,000. If you are a PPV operator, you are a carriage contract operator, you're a tour bus operator, or otherwise. And these funds can be used to make your business more attractive to customers.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on more private sector investors to partner with government to reinvest in community development and close the demand gap in Jamaica's housing market. The Prime Minister was speaking at the recent groundbreaking ceremony for 30 luxury villas at Villa Ronai in Stony Hill by Pulse Homes. He says more support is needed from the private sector real estate developers to supplement the government's 70,000 affordable housing target.
So we are going to depend on the private sector to fill in the other 70,000 that may be necessary. But the question is, which 70,000? So we have said to the NHD, you have to shift your focus away from the middle and high end to focus exclusively on the lower middle and affordable and lowest income.
In the meantime, the Prime Minister has expressed his support for the development at Villa Ronai, which he says is an example of how Jamaica can thrive economically from its cultural assets.
We need more people to monetize our culture, right? Because believe me, other people are monetizing our culture daily, right? So I like the real estate mixed with the lifestyle, provides a diversity in the market, and who knows, maybe this becomes the new fashion village of the Caribbean.
Going forward, recipients of units under the new Social Housing Program, NSHP, will be required to sign a social contract. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the disclosure during a function on Thursday. He says the social contract includes beneficiaries becoming ambassadors of the program. The recipients must agree to take care of the houses, keep the unit within the family even after the beneficiary has passed, ensure that no violence takes place within the home, and participate in the life of the community.
The program will develop its own monitoring mechanisms where we will be tracking those persons who have benefited to see exactly how they have utilized this house to change their lives and that of the community. This is not free, and you are going to pay for it by being good examples and good citizens.
The gripping story of 17-year-old Delano Tucker, who grabbed the nation's attention earlier this year, finally has a happy ending. On Thursday, the key to a 3-bedroom dwelling was handed over to Delano, his parents, and little sister, who once shared a 2-room board structure. The house, which is located in Seafield, St. Catherine, is the 84th dwelling built on the government's new social housing program, NSHP. As he handed over the unit, Prime Minister Andrew Holness urged Delano and his family to become ambassadors of hope for the NSHP.
You must become now, a beacon of good living and a beacon of good citizenship in your community. I am certain, based upon what I've seen, I'm confident that this small investment will be repaid multiple times over by their contribution and what they will do for their country.
And finally, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has commenced a major debushing exercise as part of the National Clean Jamaica campaign. The exercise saw the removal of overgrown vegetation along Dyke Road in Portmore, St. Catherine last Thursday. The project begins at Aki Village and expands 1 mile to the train line. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie toured the area on Thursday.
The work is being coordinated by the National Solid Waste Management Authority, working closely with the Member of Parliament and the Councillor for the area, and getting the support from the security forces, because, as you know, this area has been tense, under some pressure for many weeks now. And, I've been getting complaints from motorist persons. Have been calling, asking for something to be done.
The Dyke Road project was initiated due to the recent spate of violence in the area, which led to the discovery of what police described as the headquarters of a deadly criminal gang in the heavily forested territory.
What is happening here now will provide us with an opportunity to have greater visibility, policing the area more effectively. And we also encourage the citizens as best as possible to continue working with the police, that we can rid the communities of these kind of persons that are giving the problems that we have been having in the Gregor Park space. So it is a welcome initiative.
The operation is expected to last 1 week. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Hey you! Yes you! Let's go on a public sector journey together. Check your rear view and let's hit the gas. We all rely on public sector workers, from hospitals and care workers to schools, where our children get the education to fulfill their dreams, and in emergency situations when we are most in need. In turn, public sector workers are paid by us. The current compensation structure in the public sector is complex, inconsistent, and inequitable. That's about to change. Welcome to the new compensation system. The new system is simple and easily understood. It's consistent, enabling equitable application and transparency across the public sector. It will reward high performance, and it's sustainable. The government of Jamaica is committed to investing in its people and building a better public sector.
The modernization of the public sector is on in earnest. In addition to the recently launched public sector service policy, the government has embarked on an education campaign to inform the public about efforts to make the sector more agile. Take a look.
good. Tell me, what are your morning rituals?
Well, my personal devotion or prayers with the family and coffee.
In one sentence, tell us what you do.
Well, as the Commissioner of Revenue Appeals for the Division of the Ministry of Finance, I lead a team that is mandated by law to provide appeals mechanism for taxpayers to settle disputes that may arise from time to time between them and revenue commissioners.
What was the most difficult decision for you this week, and why was it difficult?
Well, this week I had to make a people management decision that did not sit well with the rest of the team. It was difficult because it appears as if the decision was causing some people to get what they desire, which undeservedly so, but it was the right decision for the rest of the team. It was in the best interest of the team. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning, Dr. Jones.
Any messages for me?
Currently.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Has anyone or anything made you feel inspired lately?
Yes, I firmly believe I work with the best team. Their attitudinal response to the corporate vision is just inspiring. And the way they responded, particularly over the last quarter of the last fiscal year, to get us over the proverbial line was just inspiring.
What would you like your legacy to be in the public sector?
I learned early in my life that I'm limited by what I think and believe about myself. And so with that knowledge, I have vowed to always keep an open mind and to push the boundaries. I've led my team that way, and my legacy will be leaving persons behind who are that open-minded and always ready to test the orthodoxy.
Where's the most interesting place your work has taken you?
That would have to be India. I visited India in 2000, where I learned about customs valuation. It was a very thrilling experience. I loved the food and the culture and just the atmosphere there. I would love to revisit that place one day.
And before we go, can you recommend one book you think everyone should read?
One book would be difficult, and so I have two. For your spiritual life, The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren, and for your professional life, The Forgotten Half of Change by Luke de Berbandere.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you too. You too.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica is spearheading a project designed to increase the island's resilience to climate change, all while reducing poverty. It's dubbed a Jamaican Path from Hills to Ocean and was launched recently. Hear more about this game-changing project in this next feature.
Spectacular views of the Blue Mountains, the cradle for the Wadwater River watershed, one of Jamaica's 26 watersheds, and the source of 40% of the water for the Kingston metropolitan area. Fresh water rolls from these hills to the valley, supplying one of Jamaica's longest rivers, the White River, flowing for 27 kilometers past bamboo groves and lush vegetation, crossing the boundary lines of the northeastern parishes of St. Anne and St. Mary to empty into the Ocho Rios Fish Sanctuary and into the Caribbean Sea. A Jamaican Path from Hills to Ocean. This is a story of a remarkable project to increase Jamaica's resilience to climate change by sustaining our watersheds, our coastlines, our land and marine resources, while empowering more Jamaicans with the required knowledge and awareness to secure their livelihoods in these spaces. The Hills to Ocean project is funded by the European Union Global Climate Change Alliance Plus, in partnership with the Government of Jamaica to the tune of €6 million over 5 years. The project will implement integrated and sustainable landscape and coastal management interventions to tackle the thorny challenges of declining ecosystems, biodiversity loss, land degradation, and the vagaries of climate change affecting vulnerable communities in Jamaica.
The project intends to stop erosion in selected watersheds to reduce degradation of important terrestrial habitats, sedimentation of the marine space, loss of soil productivity, and pollution of the rivers and streams for improper waste management. The restorative activities are therefore designed towards building climate resilience and transforming managing capabilities within affected ecosystems and communities.
In the lower reaches of the watershed, the flow of the Wagwater River has slowed to a trickle in parts of the picturesque Castleton Botanical Gardens. For Oswald Eyre, a longtime resident of the Wagwater Valley and president of a local NGO working with 17 communities, the Hills to Ocean project is a welcomed addition to the ongoing efforts to restore the watershed.
These are two big resources, Castleton Gardens and the Wagwater and its tributaries. In the early days, the Wagwater was most important for fishing, for recreation, for training. Everybody on the banks of the Wagwater, some 17 to 18,000 persons. By age 10 or so, they will be able to swim. There was a section of the river that we call Deep Hole. Very deep, and it retained water. And when rainfall is low, those deep holes will gradually feed the stream with water. And by the time they are exhausted, rain would come again and refill them. All that is gone today.
The Hills to Ocean project will directly benefit Castleton Gardens and many other communities and residents who make their livelihood from key economic sectors like agriculture and tourism. There are 3 targeted watershed management units under the project: the Wagwater WMU, including Castleton Gardens, the Rio Nuevo WMU in St. Mary, and the Rio Bueno White River WMU in St. Anne and Trelawney. The project will also focus on wetland ecosystems at Winsmorass on the coast of Falmouth, Trelawney, and farther inland at the Mason River Protected Area at the border of St. Anne and Clarendon, a Ramsar site known for its rich biodiversity. The Hills to Ocean project will also assess the health and distribution of seagrass beds in the Ochareas Marine Park Protected Area and at the Helsha Bay and Half Moon Bay Portland Bight Protected Area in St. Catherine and Clarendon. From hills to ocean, the downstream effect of pollution and indiscriminate dumping of solid waste in the White River pose real threats and challenges for Ochareas, once a sleepy fishing village, now a bustling town with vibrant tourism and other commercial interests, and the community of fishermen who were there from the beginning. Belinda Collier-Morrow, a diver and chair of the White River Marine Association, which has partnered with the fishermen in the area to run the Ochareas Fish Sanctuary, remembers a time when the coral reefs were healthy and the fish were in abundance.
This project will definitely help us because we're totally aligned with what this project is doing. When people clear the lands, that's also coming into the river and smothering and getting out to sea, smothering the corals. And you see the river turns brown. You can see it goes for miles out to sea when we've had a big rain. So this project will work to address things like that. Better farming practices that will affect the river. That will in turn affect what we're doing out there.
I think the Hills to Ocean is a great platform for us to really get information about how serious this is, because we as the White River Fish Sanctuary, as a local community-based group, we can only do so much.
Working in the sanctuary, it's an eye-opening, for it teaches us to care, the bad habits and, the do and the don'ts,
If people have an understanding of what their actions do and why it matters, I think that is what is going to make a difference.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica is the executing agency of this high-level Hills to Ocean project. A core project management unit collaborates and coordinates daily with technical experts from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, and the Public Gardens Division, and from NEPA, the National Environment and Planning Agency.
The implementation of this project is a direct investment in data collection and research and will strengthen the technical capacity of the National Environment and Planning Agency, ultimately bolstering its monitoring and early warning capabilities. Together, let us join hands and hearts to manage and protect Jamaica's land, wood, air, and water.
Given the new national campaign by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to grow smart and eat smart, we look forward to the new possibilities presented under this project to teach new techniques, build resilience, and strengthen our island nation. RADA aims through the promotion of integrated and sustainable land management practices as well as direct transfer of knowledge to achieve these goals.
The Hills to Ocean project was developed through partnership and collaboration. The direct project beneficiaries are members of the communities in the 3 named WMUs, but the entire Jamaican population will benefit from its outcomes. The PIOJ looks forward to continued collaboration with residents, the European Union, and state partners in making this project a success.
We value and appreciate the cooperation with Jamaica regarding this project, as it will allow us to further progress on the joint fight on climate change. Jamaica has proven to be a pioneer in the region regarding the subject, and we are very happy to see that actions are taking place every day to improve the life of Jamaicans, as well as of all those sharing this planet, since climate change doesn't stop at national borders.
We are in a race against time, to reverse the effects of climate change by one simple action, which has positive and enduring effects. That's right, plant a tree, leave a lasting legacy. Join the My Tree Legacy promotion by planting a tree at your alma mater and share your work with us. Submit videos and pictures of you, your family, your friends, and colleagues planting trees. Every tree counts. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
We want to keep you safe wherever you are, even in cyberspace. Our next feature should help with that.
Cybersecurity trends, though ever-changing, are a constant in today's society, even more so due to the increased usage of technology to attend school, conduct meetings, carry out work tasks, and basic day-to-day necessities.
There are a lot of trends out there, but as far as the online space, phishing is one of the enduring challenges out there, and the trend these days is to actually utilize COVID-19 resource sites as a platform from which to launch these attacks. They look very much like the official sites for a lot of these companies, and if you're really not wary, you will actually not realize that there are subtle changes such as misspellings, such as a graphic that is not where it should be.
So phishing, what really is it? According to our research, it is a type of social engineering attack often used to steal your user data, including login credentials and credit card numbers. As Lieutenant Colonel Sterling just explained, the hackers can replicate a trusted website. They can even trick you into opening malicious emails and messages. Once you do this, by clicking the link attached, you could very well be giving the hackers access to your private information, so be careful.
Additionally, we've seen an uptick in ransomware. And this is where this usually starts as part of a phishing campaign. And when you have fallen victim, the end result is that the attacker gains access to either your device or your network, and they encrypt your files and ask for ransom. But we're also seeing an increase in cryptojacking. This is where hackers will actually steal your cryptocurrencies and they will take them to exchanges and cash out. So as Jamaicans become more adept at buying cryptocurrency and supporting our own digital currency issued by the central bank, they have to be more wary of some of the pitfalls of cryptojacking online. Now, we have seen also a good trend where the use of HTTPS for web-facing resources has increased by about 174% within the region. We have also seen a downward trend in malware infections because more persons are installing antivirus and anti-malware software and are generally becoming more responsible in their use. The need for security, if you really measure it, is costly, but the existence of a lack of security can be even more costly. Now, for the individual, there are free apps within the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store that you can use to help to secure your devices. And sometimes for a nominal cost, there are some that you can also use that will do a better job. Now, what works for you is really going to be up to what you do online and the devices that you have. But the risk of not having any protection at all is one that cannot necessarily have a dollar value placed to it. If your device gets encrypted by ransomware, what is the cost of it? Do you have backups? So that's another thing that you need to do, to back up your device, not just the settings, but also your data on the device. It is very easy to get pirated software or so-called free software from some download sites and torrents, but usually they come with unwelcome and hidden residents that will take over your devices and will sometimes cause you grief. So while it does have a cost attached to it, you have to do the cost-benefit analysis. What is the cost of not having security versus having security? And I can almost assure you that when you really do it, the cost of security will work out way cheaper than not having security.
And that's where we leave you, but only for today. We return tomorrow around about the same time with another information-filled magazine packaged with you in mind. We are available at your convenience through our website, jis.gov.jm. And you may also send us emails to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I am Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.